All right. Hey everyone, I'm back. I wanted to do kind of a 2024 review in a sense, just because I know 2025 is here and a lot of these videos I'm posting from 2024 in 2025 anyways. So I'm kind of doing catch up like you all know, but I figured it'd be interesting to record kind of a review of the previous year to talk about what we did that was new, what we did that was better than we were doing before, where we ended, and then maybe compare it as the years go by to see, you know, maybe at the end of 2025, I look back at 2024 and I'm like, wow, I don't know what I was doing, or I look back and I'm like, damn, I was really kicking ass back then. So I don't know. Or people could just watch this and get a general overview of everything I've done. So let's enough of me bullshitting around this. Just getting into it. Fitness wise, pretty good year, I think. I was working out a little bit before then, but I wasn't avidly running. Running didn't become a goal of mine until 2024. I've always been very short distance running. Like I would just do sprints in high school and everything, and that was it. Never did long distance; it would kill me. So previously in 2024, at the beginning of it, the most I could run is 2 miles, and then I would be dead for a number of reasons. I was bad at pacing. I was just didn't have good endurance. It was horrible. At the end of 2024, I was able to run 5 miles without stopping and kind of giving up. To a lot of people and avid runners, it probably doesn't seem like a lot, but to most people I know, I don't think a lot of my general friends can run 5 miles. I'm pretty proud of that. And even this year, so far in 2025, I've already gone up to a 10K. So we're still going to try to go for longer, but 5 miles or 2 to 5 miles in 1 year was pretty good. As far as working out went, my I'm not really going to go into the weights as much because a lot of my actual I guess weight of the weights that I was lifting started to kind of stagnate just because I think I needed to switch up my routine. But I did have a bulking goal because I've always been extremely thin. My metabolism, I've kind of always been the kid that was like paper thin in school and college and everything, and everyone would make fun of them for being, tiny, like you can wrap your hand around their arm. That was definitely me, and still kind of is me sometimes. My metabolism has definitely slowed a little bit, but I wanted to try to actually gain some size because I've always basically just been skin and bones. So we went from 160 pounds at the beginning of the year, and the most I was able to hit is 195. I wanted to hit 200 last year, but I couldn't. So 2025, I'm just going to keep the goal at 200 and see if we can hit it. And even right now, I'm at about 175, I think, fairly evenly, and that's after a cut, like a pretty decent cut. I could probably have cut more, but uh, down to like a stable 175 compared to where I used to be stable at 160. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the weight and muscle gain I had from last year. So we're going to keep pushing for that. And the goal is to get back to 200. And whenever that does happen, I think having like a good 180 cut would be pretty sick. I'd be okay with that. Aside from fitness, we did a ton money wise. Because as everyone knows, the whole purpose of me documenting all this crap is because it's impossible for like everyone right now to save money to buy a house to do all kinds of things. Or the economy in America and all this stuff is just such shit, despite the numbers that people say. That, like, it's always good that the numbers, our GDP and everything is going up, but the GDP doesn't mean anything if bread still costs $10 freaking when you go to the store. So the economy's not good. But we've been trying to do everything we can to fix that, including, like, I'm not going to give the numbers on this obviously, but I was able to save substantially more than I have in the past. Like, substantially. I used to save a little bit here and there, but I was never good with it. I would just buy things all the time. If I wanted a new fun thing for my car, I would buy it. If I wanted a game, I'd buy it. If I wanted, I don't know, food, I'd go buy it. There was no controlling of that at all. I got a lot of that really situated and just saved so much more money. And this year, we even set the goal higher than that. trying to cut things here and they're trying to find new ways to make money. But 2024 was amazing for savings. I've never saved so much money before, especially even considering with how stupidly expensive it is. Like our electric bills and everything, grocery bills, everything is stupid expensive. But we did very well, I think. Probably could have done much better, but we did do good. Aside from that, I did try to learn as much about stocks as I could at the time. I'm still super new to it, but the fact that in my head I went from being scared of investing in things like stocks and funds to actually putting money in and trying it and even losing money. I know I made a video in the past where I said I lost like $60 or something, and just for buying like a $30 stock because I was an idiot. Those lessons carry over. Like going into 2025, I already feel so much smarter and ready to make money with this stuff. So that was a major plus. Another major plus was crypto. I dabbled with this in the past, and I'm not telling anyone to like crazy invest in crypto or anything like that. I'm still weird about it. I know some people are hardcore with it, but I just put in like a small portion of the money I invest every month into crypto. It's nothing crazy, and it's just kind of money to play with. And I think I made like $100 or something maybe this in 2024, which again, it's not a ton of money at all, but $100 is $100, and that was not bad. So I'm still gonna kind of keep playing with that in the background. I'm not really making it a big priority, but that was good. Along with those, I still need to learn so much about it, but I did open a Roth IRA as well, where I've kind of been slowly putting money in that and letting that money grow because that's just better than putting it in a general savings account typically. So kind of using that as like an extra retirement fund along with the 401k and everything from jobs. But we've started using that as well. So those have been the main money items. I guess you could technically say we switched from general savings accounts for a little bit to money market accounts for our savings, which was better. Like normal savings accounts, we were getting like, I don't know, 1 or 2 cents interest a month on that. And then the money market accounts, we were getting like $3 a month on it, which again isn't a huge difference. I mean, it's basically we would have been making like an extra 30-40 bucks a year just doing nothing on the money market accounts, which is still better than nothing. But now that I've grown my knowledge and everything, I wouldn't recommend people to do money market accounts. If you're going for a savings account, find a bank that has a high interest savings account. Like some of them are offering, I think Amex right now at the time of recording this video is offering like a 3.85 interest rate savings account. Some are offering 4%, like very good. And it's to the point where if you put like, I don't know, let's say $10,000 in an account and then just left it in there at like a 4% interest rate, you'd probably make somewhere around, I don't know, like, this should be easy. I'm horrible with math. You'd make like $400 a year just having it sit there off 10,000, which again, it's not like it's a ton of money, but that's $400 like totally free. So you could just leave that there, and every single year you just get 400, and the next year it's another 400. So now you have $800, and you add more money into that account. It keeps going up and up and up. Like you get an absurd amount of money compared to normal accounts. So I did do money markets in 2024. Don't recommend them. I would do high interest savings accounts. Like I said, you can look them up. They're all over the place. I kind of touched on this a little bit as well. We also did a lot more budgeting, which I know that word is cringe. It makes probably everyone all over the world cringe at that because it's just boring. It really is. But we did every single month kind of go through and write down how much we spent on groceries, gas, bills, pets, whatever have you, and we kind of priced it all out on there, and that kind of helped us save a little bit. We should have definitely been more consistent with certain things, but we'd have like thresholds of where we're expected to save and how much we're expecting to spend, and then we could look and see like, hey, I spent too much money on dumb shit this month, and next month we need to cool it down, or hey, cool, we saved money on groceries this month, let's keep it up. And we could kind of, that really helped with the saving thing, visually seeing where we're being stupid. Because like when you're buying a coffee from Dunkin' or something like that every single morning, it doesn't really cross your mind because you just say, oh, it's $5. But when you write it down and visually look at it and see it all add up, you're like, oh, I didn't spend $5 on that every morning. I spent $500 this month on it, and I'm broke. And it starts to click, and you're like, shit, I can't keep doing this. I could literally have a car by now if I stopped being an idiot. So that was amazing. I would encourage people to budget with that stuff. It's super good. And God, what else did we tackle that year? Probably planning. I guess you could consider planning part of that. Um, I had been using planners in 2023 and 2022 as well, but I was definitely not consistent with it at all. I think 2024 was the first year where I was much more consistently, like every single week, writing down my goals, writing down my habits, crossing them off as I went. And there were still some weeks I missed, but that was the most consistent year, hands down. And it did make a difference, even with everything I just said I did. That was all in my planner. That was all getting crossed off as we did it. I would make it like a monthly goal to be, say, hey, completely redo our bank accounts and try to find things that make more money, learn how stocks work or anything like that. And it worked. I crossed it off and it got done. And there's definitely more I can do this year, but getting very consistent with planning was huge, for sure. And I think the only thing off the top of my head that was like a big achievement that year is probably just learning how to be a parent, but then also balance that with all of these other pieces of bullshit that I'm trying to learn about and do. Because people who have kids obviously know you don't have nearly as much time as when you were free. So it's been a lot of learning how to balance that when they go to sleep, trying to find what the best times are to study, read, um, do a hobby, all kinds of stuff. It's such a balancing act, and I was definitely horrible at it until the end of 2024, just because they were typically younger, and I just didn't have it down packed, and I was procrastinating a ton. I'd be so tired with the kid, I would just want to go game. I would have no interest in studying or doing anything useful. I would just immediately go straight to gaming and just phase out, not think of anything, just game. It's gotten a lot better for sure, but that has been a huge balancing act trying to find that. Just, and I think setting goals, not goals, but what's the right word? Setting like predefined time limits on tasks helps a ton. Like recently for 2025, even for me trying to learn a new programming language just for fun, even just 15 minutes a day. Like even if you have a kid, well, once they go to sleep, you can find 15 minutes to do something. It doesn't have to be coding like I'm doing, but just anything. If you were interested in, I don't know, if you were interested in learning about freaking dinosaurs, sure. Buy a book on dinosaurs and spend 15 minutes a day learning that. Because that adds up. It doesn't sound like a lot, but like let's see. If we pull up a calculator really quick on my side and you do 15, there's about 30 days in every month. So 15 times 30, that's 450 minutes a day. And then you multiply that by, or not a day, a month. Multiply that by 12. That's 5,400 minutes every year that you're working on this. And then, you divide minutes by an hour, so you divide it by 60. So that you're spending, if you spend 15 minutes a day for an entire year, unless my math is wrong, and it definitely could be, that should be 90 hours of your time. That's huge. Like, massive. It doesn't cross your head when you're, like, doing it every day. You're like, it's not that much time. But 90 hours a year is insane. I mean, think about a lot of courses. You could take it in... Why does my camera keep freezing? You could take an entire course on something, and that course might be 40 hours long. That... You could take 2 of those. You could literally almost go to college 15 hours a day if it was just an online course. That's nuts. It really does add up. Because you can just do 15 hours a day of coding. You can do 15 hours a day of learning about a topic you're interested in. Not hours, minutes. 15 minutes, I mean. 15 minutes stretching if you're interested in becoming more flexible. And it's not a huge investment, but over that year it adds up and you will notice the differences. That was probably like one of the biggest things I learned through parenting, planning, and all of this stuff is learning that those small increments build up. Even working out. There were some days where I'd only have like 20 minutes to work out. Compared to before I had a kid, I'd work out like an hour and a half every single day. That adds up for sure. Um, just spend even 20 minutes a day is better than nothing. So that was, I guess, 2024 in a nutshell. Um, we'll end it here. I'm not going to drag this on. This, again, could be for internal documentation for myself or my kids or whoever, or just anyone curious. So we'll see how 2025 goes. I know I've already got kind of my general goals set out for this, and I think I can make some big strides with a lot of these. So I'm going to let everyone drop because I already recorded something 2 days ago, I think, and I'm tired. So I'm out. I'm going to get some sleep. So see you, everyone.